So the police raided the president's office as part of an investigation into the martial law order on Wednesday, but only to return with a very limited number of documents, with Yoon's office refusing to fully cooperate. Let's discuss more with lawyer Joung Hwang this morning. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So would you say the raid was semi-successful? I mean, does it mean it'll happen again, another one?
I mean, they were not able to enter into the premises because presidential security detail prevented police from entering the premises. And furthermore, there was actually a law change just last year that gave the presidential security detail command over police units and military units that were in charge of presidential security. So even the chain of command is unclear. So it's really unclear to me until president is actually relieved of his duty, whether the police can actually enter the premises and obtain the documents that they desire.
Right, police raid into the presidential office is quite an unprecedented one. That what needs to happen for the police to raid the presidential office? The police raid came with the ultimate goal of, collecting meaningful information related to the martial law order.
I mean, basically, presidential security detail has to stand down. And at this moment, it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon.
Well, then what kind of information do you think the police were looking for yesterday?
Well, I mean, for example, we've gotten a lot of testimonies from, military commanders, intelligence officers regarding what happened on December 3rd. We actually had testimonies regarding President Yoon actually calling individual commanders, asking them to actually enter into National Assembly, prevent lawmakers from convening in sufficient numbers and so forth. So phone records, I don't know what kind of phones President Yoon was using. There might have been a phone logs and so forth. All relevant information will be subject to investigation.
Right, and at the same time, investigators are pointing to President Yoon as the main insurrection suspect. But let's start with the term ringleader. What makes an individual a ringleader?
So the Korean term is suge, and that's being translated as ringleader. Basically, the go-to person, ultimate leader of the whole enterprise. In this case, President Yoon was ultimately the person calling all the shots in this martial law declaration, and that's almost kind of apparent, the fact that he gave the declaration to the whole people, and he's not really backing down in his claim, which also him giving an address to the entire people. So I think that he was the ringleader of the whole enterprise is not in doubt. What he is disputing is that what he did was lawful.
Well, then what punishment does the ringleader of an insurrection face eventually, and also those who participated in the case?
The maximum penalty is death penalty.
What about those? Yeah.
Yeah, others will, depending on the gravity of their offenses, their maximum penalty, again, is up to death penalty. We actually have a Supreme Court precedent that is right on point of what constitutes insurrection. We actually have a Supreme Court decision written in 1997 in connection with Joung Hwang and Roh Tae-woo with respect to their infamous December 12th coup d'etat from 1979. Today actually happens to be 15th anniversary of that coup d'etat. And let me remind you, Joung Hwang was sentenced to death under the Supreme Court precedent.
Right. And the next in line to take the presidential position is Prime Minister Han Duck-soo. But that might not be possible with police having requested to question cabinet members as well. Then who's next in line? Should we expect a snap presidential election as well?
We'll literally have to go down the chain of succession. We do have exactly who steps up each time there's vacancy that is in the chain of command. And what happened was that there was a cabinet meeting right before the martial law was declared, and there were 11 cabinet members. So to the extent that to what extent the process of law kind of looks at them as having aided and abetted this whole insurrection business, a number of them could be knocked out of, kind of doing their official duties.
Before we connected with you, sir, our Oh Soo-young told us that President Yoon is delivering his public address, and it appears that he will face the impeachment motion instead of stepping down as the president. His argument is that there were no problems regarding the declaration of martial law and also lifting the order. From a legal perspective, is that the case?
Well, I think the consensus, near consensus among all the lawyers and legal scholars that are, and a lot of them expressing their views very publicly through SNS channels, is that this was unlawful declaration of martial law. We do have very clear language in the Korean Constitution, namely Article 77, that martial law shall be declared only during war or war-like situation. And I think it's near consensus that South Korea right now is not facing a war or anything close to that. So therefore, the prerequisite for declaring martial law is not met. Therefore, it was an unlawful martial law declaration. And I think no matter how much President Yoon would like to argue otherwise, I think his argument is not likely to carry the day for the most part.
Alrighty, thanks so much for connecting with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.